intention to do Ask My Coachee show is very simple. I, Ridhima Dua, bring you all the coaches and people, trainees, people who are getting trained under us and they are using NLP and New Code NLP in their life, personally and professionally, highly successfully. So, all of you who are seeing me on different platforms, I am live on YouTube, Insta, Facebook, as well as on LinkedIn. Hello and good evening to each one of you. I can also chat with all of you on the Restream chat. I do see the chat button on the YouTube. I can read your chats on the YouTube as well as I can read some of the chats also on the LinkedIn. Alrighty. So today's coachee we have Sonali Chauhan with us. Thank you so much, Sonali. Beautiful, lovely Sonali for coming and giving your time, your precious time.
Absolutely
Sonali,
my pleasure. Thank you.
lovely. I would like to introduce Sonali to all of you, and then I would also like Sonali. I will tell you the frame of what we do here, and then we go ahead. So I met Sonali in one of the webinars when she came exploring New Code NLP. And the next day itself, I had a call with Sonali around the work that she is doing. And what a wonderful, curious, flexible woman you are. You took up the journey of New Code NLP and you took up the challenges which we were presenting in coaching and you kept going on, and on. And here you are in front of all of us. Sonali, for all of you, is an amazing self image coach. She has a beautiful purpose to facilitate women and transforming them. She works with corporates for soft skills and communication, interpersonal skills. She also works specifically with schools, does a lot of school projects. So, people who are going to hear me later, you can connect with Sonali for different school projects and different corporate projects which she runs. And in schools, while I was talking to you, I was so happy, Sonali, that you're doing a wonderful job in schools for transforming, girls. That's amazing. A real beautiful work. And apart from that, Sonali is an amazing coach for your personal transformation. And I really love the way she says that, how do you carry the positive self image internally and externally about yourself. So that's the work which Sonali does. All of you can connect with Sonali on Instagram, on the Facebook, on the LinkedIn. And thank you, Sonali, for coming in to the show.
Absolutely my pleasure, Ridhima. Um, and I think I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity. It has been a wonderful, a beautiful. It's been a revealing journey for me because when I came to you, I was like, like that clay which needed to be molded. I was all over the place, and my only apprehension was that there were certain things that were holding me back, and you told me not to worry. Once you are there, so we are going to help you with it, and really, really thankful to you for showing me the path, and it's been a beautiful journey with you. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. All the viewers who are listening to us, thank you so much for writing. Thank you, Susan. Hello, how are you? Over LinkedIn, over there. Thanks for writing. Sonali, the frame, and for all the viewers, the frame today is that we would like Sonali for all of you to answer a few questions around NLP and New Code NLP and how has she so beautifully, and I'm so, so glad that you do it so beautifully, practice NLP and New Code NLP in her personal life as well as professional life. The questions are around that for Sonali, for all the viewers to know her personal experience and to get more knowledge. Apart from that, all the viewers who are listening to us, definitely you can ask us any question around transformation, whether personal or professional, or any kind of a block which you think that you have in your growth or being successful in your journey. So feel free to ask questions in between to the through the chat box. We will be able to see the chat box and we'll be able to answer. If in case we are not able to answer, means that if we are not able to see the chat box, our team can tell us. You can ask the question to Sonali also directly. We would love Sonali to answer all your questions which you have here. And this was for viewers. The frame, Sonali. I am so glad to start the conversation with you, Sonali. I've been like really, really waiting for the moment for people to know you because the way you do the work is like heart touching, and you really take care of each point with your coaches as well as the practice which you have input in the new Code NLP course which you were a part of. The practice which you have, got inside you is just amazing. So I'm so glad that you are here to talk to the people out there.
Thank you. I am also too excited, very excited.
Uh, oh, lovely. Great. So I would like to ask you, Sonali, yeah, I would like to ask you a few of the questions around NLP and New Code NLP. You're working day in and day out with people around, right? You're working with people in coaching, you're working with people in training. You recently also did one of the corporate program with women. You also recently did one of the projects with schools as well to facilitate girl child and make them transform. So I would like to ask you a very specific question that how is the process of new code NLP is helping you in trainings and it's helping you in coaching? How is it? What specifically is happening?
Uh, Ridma, as far as corporate trainings are concerned, where there are a lot of people involved, uh, I think the first essential element for it to be impactful has to be the rapport. And
Mm-hmm.
when it is face to face with one single person, it's easier because you're just talking directly. But when it's a group, like I did a group of it was around 100 to 100 women and
Wow.
5 different cities, and
Uh-huh.
it was online webinar that was happening. It was a workshop for Women's Day, and
Mm-hmm.
there were three different levels, mid level, the senior levels, and the new entries, and we
Mm-hmm.
were working for Women's Day, uh, and 5 different cities, and some were A city people, some were from the B grade city. So different people from different stratas having different mindsets, different ideologies, uh, a different outlook and approach towards life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think NLP makes it so easy for me to build that rapport with them. And
Mm-hmm.
somewhere when that rapport is built, the trust comes in, and everything that you're trying to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes easier, it's smooth, it just glides through.
Uh-huh.
It's very impactful. Actually, it becomes impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as one-on-ones are concerned, uh, I think new code is like a blessing.
Uh-huh.
It's a blessing. Yeah. First of all, for me, because being a very emotional person, as a coach, you listen to all that your coachee had, all your clients have to share with you. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you get really overwhelmed by all the emotions and all the feelings, everything, the traumas, the stories that they're sharing with you.
Mm-hmm.
So new code gave me that shield that I
Mm-hmm.
could use for myself and
Uh-huh.
help the client, but at the same time, have that circle around myself where I have my own space, my own, a hidden place where I can guide them and not get emotionally involved. And
Wow.
for me, another beautiful thing is new code cuts the content. It completely cuts the content. I mean, for the first time when I learned new code from you and I used it with my first client,
Mm-hmm.
the client was like, okay, so how many sittings, how many hours? I said,
Uh-huh.
okay, let's start. And it was the first sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat and I built the repo, and it was without the talking. So I was just pacing, mirroring, matching. And
Mm-hmm.
it took not even 2 minutes to build that repo. And the person was, okay, where should I start? Should I start 10 years back? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
no. You don't have to tell me anything. And the client was like, then how are you going to solve my problem? I said, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to know that there is something that you want to work on, and the client is like,
Mhm.
yes, of course, but you need to know what I want to work on.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I told them, no, I don't
Mhm.
need any information. I don't want anything from you. I just need a yes. And
Mhm.
we are going to do a fun thing. And there was no need
Mhm.
for the next sitting as well. So
Wow.
it was so
Okay.
magical for the client, for me, and
Uh-huh.
it has been magical since then.
Wow, lovely. That's amazing. So, for a lot of people who doesn't know new code, Sonali is referring to content-free coaching. She's also referring to the game which she plays in the coaching or the processes which she runs in the coaching. And she started so beautifully with maintaining her state, facing with the client, going to content free. No, you don't need to. You need not have to. If you want to, you can choose to. She did a process game, and that game brought the change to the client. Am I correct to the paraphrasing?
Yes,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
So for many coaches who doesn't know it, then how would you know that the client has changed? How would you get to know that that particular process has worked? How do you do that?
I mean, it's just then and there. It is so quick. It is so quick. It is so easy. When when that particular activity or the process that we are doing, it generally takes 10-15 minutes. So once the process is over and the client is standing there, that is what happened with me the first time actually. So I was like, why am I standing here? You know.
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm,
so the client says, I know I came to you for something, but I don't know what is it.
mhm, mhm.
So
Fantastic.
that thing that was causing that pain, that hurt, that entire issue, it's gone completely. There is no, basically the connection gets broken. So that hard wiring is broken, and it does not exist any longer. So
Mhm,
and if I would like to put it in 3 words, uh, the new code makes the coaching process so clear. There is so much of clarity with it, and
mhm,
with the clarity, because there is clarity, the focus on the solution. And
mhm,
when you have clarity, you have focus, your intention gets very clear why you want to do
mhm,
it. You know,
mhm,
the how
mhm,
is not, does not matter, because the issue is no longer there. You just
mhm,
need to remember why you want to overcome that particular issue.
mhm, 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 mhm.
Goes on, I mean, how
Fantastic.
to explain it? Yeah.
How to explain it? Yeah, you need to do it. You can't do
Actually,
it with this.
yeah, you need to experience it. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. You've said three very important and beautiful words. And I also believe into it because I have been practicing new code and I completely understand to what you're saying. And the viewers who would be listening to you now or watching the recording later can also take away that if you would like to build focus, clarity, and want to set clear intentions, new code is one of a very simpler and a profound tool which you can use. And I can second to what Sonali is saying, of course. That's great, Sonali. And for coming to you on the second question on the personal life, how do you use new code for in personal life? What impact did it give to you? Oh my God! Don't ask me so much.
I
Okay.
mean, if I start now, it would be morning. There is not a area of my life where I've not used it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go back 7 years, Ridhima,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they say, anything that is happening in your life
Mm-hmm.
is revealed to you in a physical form. And
Mm-hmm.
my discomfort came to me physically one day when I got up in the morning 7 years back, and I was not able to get out of my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to the doctor, it was like, this, and he gave me a whole list of issues that I had. And it was overnight that my body just gave up.
Okay.
And it was those 7 years was literally like a journey for me.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I kept on looking, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है मेरे साथ, ऐसे कैसे हो गया, you know, I eat healthy, I do this, it cannot happen to me. And from the physical, I realized that it isn't actually a physical issue. It somewhere came from my mental issues, and
Mm-hmm.
my mental issues were somewhere my emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
somewhere because my emotions were disconnected to my real self, my spiritual self,
Mm-hmm.
the entire chaos had happened.
Mm-hmm.
So this 7 years, the past 7 years have been a continuous, like, you have that treasure hunt,
Mm-hmm.
one clue after the other, one clue after the other. So it took
Mm-hmm.
me almost 6 years to reach you and to get a hold of new code NLP, and to, kind of to get that key to unlock the chest, and bingo, realize that, you know
Wow.
it was this one thing that we hold on to. I would really like to share, and I always, this is what I really always tell my women clients, be it corporates, be it individuals, that we always try and change the external environment, which is a constant.
Mm-hmm.
We have no control. It's constantly evolving and changing, and we
Mm-hmm.
keep on blaming it. However, if we start, introspecting and looking within ourselves, that's
Mm-hmm.
the only variable, that's the
Mm-hmm.
only thing we can ever transform. That
Wow.
is only we can, change, control, and change. So if
Wow.
I take ownership of this variable that I am, everything around me will change because my vibration would change.
Beautiful. So beautifully put. Working on your internal states and managing your state, maintaining your state.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
I really like your metaphor of constant and variable. That's, I think, for all the viewers, is one of the very big takeaway from you. Beautiful
Thank you so
work.
much.
I respect that the way you changed yourself and you just got over that one thing and you've taken the responsibility of your professional front, your personal front, and you're growing so fast and so amazingly. I mean, that's kudos to your growth and the work which you have been doing from the last 7, 8 months, I think now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ridma, I mean, it is amazing when we realize that, because, as you said, where have I used NLP?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would say the physical transformation, the physical comfort that came to me was
Mm-hmm.
the first thing. It's the outcome basically. But, the inner work would be my mental issues, my emotional issues, my spiritual issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not me who is using NLP now. From being a mother who used to always tell her children, don't, ठंडा मत पियो, गला खराब हो जाएगा, ऐसे मत करो, आपको पता है आपको allergy है. I was so finicky. I had those anxiety attacks the moment my son used to cough, because he was hyper allergic, and doctor that told us, इसको ऐसे रखो, because every other day
Oh.
he used to be in the hospitals with drips, and uh, I mean, it was all chaos. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to actually get into anxiety and panic attacks, even if, he used to sneeze or cough.
Mm-hmm.
And now with new code, I've learned to give him choices. So, when we go out, now he's a 9-year-old. My daughter is 17, son is 9. So when we go out and he wants to have a cold drink, when all the other children are having cold drink in a party, so he
Mm-hmm.
would just walk up to me and, Mama, can I have cold drink? So I always tell him, okay, you want to be a footballer? So this is water and juices, fresh juices. Your idol, and this is the other having cold drink, not so strong, not so energetic. What would you pick? And he's like, of course I would choose this. So now I know, I know how to give him choices. So,
Wow.
being a mother also, I've realized that, you don't have to use NLP professionally or as a coach. Every person can use NLP in their own life, and the transformation happens. It trickles down to the entire family, to your friends, to the entire environment around you.
Wow, so beautifully put. You are giving people in simple way that NLP is for everyone. Don't stick to only NLP
Absolutely.
for coaching. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe so. And what you mentioned is also mentioned by John Grinder in New Code NLP, and I'll mention in my own ways that Once we practice new code NLP and we practice different games, create different states, the change doesn't only occur in one context. Any other context which share the similar representations, the change also occur in those contexts. The same way, what you are saying right now, what Sonali is saying right now, is that even if you have worked on one particular thing, but the change is going to also happen in the other areas of your life. It's like trickling down, tack, 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 to all the other things. Yeah, exactly, because you have worked on your states and not on the behaviors. Brilliant.
Absolutely. I believe almost all the ailments, all the dis-ease or the discomfort that we feel in our body is
Mhm,
always an outcome of something which is going on inside.
mhm,
So once I started working on the inside, it was only after a year and a half I started realizing, oh, this has gone. And Ridhima, to be very honest, probably when I kind of had these issues, and it was not one, two, three, four. I can't even count. There were multiple issues. That Sonali, that time was actually on the bed for 7, 8 months. You wouldn't even, to get up from the bed used to be a huge task for her.
mhm,
And
mhm.
it was only after a year and a half that I started realizing that the moment I was transforming inside, all those things without the medicine vanished. They just vanished. I don't know
Wow,
where, but they just went away.
wow, wow. So, just one of that part can change the whole process.
Yes, yes. If I shall I give you an example?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, please. That's what. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, like suppose I had one major issue, and I mean, people take medications, they get operated for that. And I kept on thinking that this Sonali is not what I am. And that is one of the beautiful things that I've got from NLP, that I have been able to answer this very basic question that each one of needs to ask ourselves, that who am I? Who am I actually? You know, so when I realized that this is not the Sonali who gets angry at every little thing, that बच्चे ने कुछ कहा आप गुस्सा हो गए, husband ने कुछ कहा आप गुस्सा हो गए, कुछ भी टाइम अगर suppose which anything which is not going my way, I just throw up a tantrum, get angry. This is not who Sonali is. And that is when I started, making an effort, being conscious about what makes me angry, why do I get angry, how can I, kind of change. And then I started slowly and slowly responding and not reacting, trying to hold back, learning. So when I worked upon my anger, that issue of mine, which the doctor had told me that probably you'll have to get operated because that is there is no other way. Otherwise, you can try medicine for 6 months. It just went away in 3 months. It completely
Wow,
vanished.
wow,
It never came back to me. And now,
wow.
uh, with Ridma, with NLP, as we talk of body sensations, we talk of body signals that
Signal.
we get. Now I know that what is the trigger that is coming to me, which would take me to that place.
Mhm,
And so the
mhm,
moment I feel that trigger is coming to me, I just hold myself back.
mhm,
So it's like a precaution that you take beforehand.
mhm. Wow, you are using unconscious signals exercise very beautifully. I really
Yes.
compliment you on that. So, what she was referring to, the trigger and the signals, and the way she is able to take that precaution is basically using a specific process which is made by John Grinder in Newport NLP. It is also being taught in different ways as SOS by Carmen Bostic. And I really like people to utilize this process which you're talking about, Sonali. In fact, I remember you mentioning about your signals on different areas, on the health as well as on the other areas of your corporate training, which you went to do. There also, you were saying that I set my signals, and the examples were just coming pop, 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 pop for
Yes,
you.
yes, because I had never done a online workshop for 200 people, and
Mhm,
five different cities and different kind of, levels.
mhm.
So, and there was one common message that was to be conveyed. So, just before the webinar was going, three, two, one, I just closed my
Uh-huh.
eyes. And Ridhima, not more than 2 seconds, because now
Really?
the unconscious, yeah, it's like, the unconscious, the moment I start talking, it just
Mhm,
responds.
mhm,
And as you mentioned, unconscious signal, my signal is that sway, that forward sway.
mhm,
So the
mhm,
moment I close my eyes and I asked it, are you there? Are you going to help me? And just send me those examples so that I can relate to each and every audience there. There are 200 people. Please help me relate to each one of them.
mhm,
And I
mhm,
just got this way, and my
mhm,
whole that tension, that nervousness, that botheration, whether
mhm.
I'm going to be, able to communicate well and give them examples, everything just vanished, and it was like,
Takeover. Yeah, unconscious
yes,
takeover. Beautiful.
yes.
There is one important message which I would like the viewers to notice also what you just said. If you are going to hear the recording, viewers, go back and hear Sonali once again. She has framed the intention so clearly. She's saying just before the webinar and the topic which I have, and you present me those examples which would relate to the audience on this specific topic. So when you are giving a very clear frame like this, what you are doing, right, Sonali, and I really respect you and thank you for giving clear frames. We have discussed so much about framing, right? So when you give clear frames, and that's what we learn a lot in New Code, giving clear frames. And the second thing, the way she has set these signals and she's been working on signals continuously. These two things, when you do it very clearly, the work which Sonali just mentioned, it just happens, takes over like that, yeah. So I really like your framing is so clear, your intention is so clear about it.
You taught it to me, so all the credit goes to you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are a wonderful person. Great. So, Nali, I also would like you to talk to people who are already in image, image consultants or self-image or working in this area of soft skills. What message would you like to give it to women working in this area, and how NLP specifically can help them to take their career or personal and professional life at a higher level?
Um, what I would like to convey to them is that, Ridhima, see, when we talk of image, the general misconception that
Mm-hmm.
is about image building is that image is all about the looks and the exterior part of it. But that is
Mm-hmm.
not what it is. When we talk of image consultancy, body image is one part,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest 50% is your inner image, which is about your beliefs, values, attitudes, your perception. And
Mm-hmm.
that is what entirely New Code talks about.
Wow.
It talks about building that congruency so that, the inside and the outside is in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if we have to build a strong image, if we have to build a positive self image for our clients,
Mm-hmm.
if we want, if we want that balance in the inside and the outside, because, even if we transform somebody on the outside, somebody could wear those clothes, wear that makeup, but where would they get that confidence from? Where would they get that? There are so many things that hold us back. And uh, I won't say the worst part is, but the kind of the saddest part about is that when all those conditionings were happening, for each of us who is born on this earth, we were these little tiny babies, and we
Mm-hmm.
had no contribution in creating that foundation. It was some auntie, some padosi, some rishtedar, our parents, who were creating that foundation for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, until unless our inner and the external is not in sync, it is not in rhythm, that external transformation will not take our clients anywhere.
Beautiful.
So, for the true transformation to happen, for them to imbibe those beliefs so strongly that it comes out automatically, it reflects on the outside, and then whatever we do do for them externally, it becomes a part of them. That can
Mm-hmm.
happen beautifully with NLP.
Mm-hmm. So beautifully. You were just using your hands and then telling us that If you have this change here as a baby, and then you set up that other thing parts, the other external things, whether it is ornament or whether it's a lipstick which I'm wearing, yeah, you change the internal to change the external. So
True.
beautiful. I really like the way you were showing it to them to align. And I think, yes, alignment is very, very important.
Absolutely.
So it also
Absolutely.
goes to a lot of people who also believe in affirmations, for example, right? So people say, yes, I'm saying an affirmation, Ridhima, that I am beautiful. But then you saying the affirmation, but you really believing are two different things.
Yes, absolutely.
So
That
it's
faith, that faith and emotion of belief, when that's connected to what you're saying, that is what is going to bring you results. Otherwise, it's just going to be superficial. Might be it will take you through one interview, one session, but not. If you really want to live that life of, where you've transformed completely, just combine your internal with NLP and your external with image building, and you're great to go.
wow, this is very strong. This is really, really strong. Yes, absolutely. I would definitely like people to recommend both of it together for them to completely transform. Absolutely. So, so, so true. Yeah, this is so amazing. I think one of the thing what Sonali you have mentioned, and for the viewers to understand, is you have mentioned about working on the beliefs, to the core beliefs, to your thinking process, etc. And people who doesn't know NLP and new code NLP, the work of NLP and especially new code NLP is to create those states at a very unconscious level, which will automatically will bring the states in your situations, which will cut all those unwanted states, unwanted unresourceful states, like for example fears, for example, you know questioning yourself unnecessary, for example being angry unnecessary, for example being critical unnecessary. Every behavior is useful in some context, but then if you're unconscious, has a deal and decides, okay, I will do it this way and I will do it this way, so that we serve the intention, the higher intention. So the
Absolutely.
work of NLP, what you are referring to, is all about that internal change, and then the work of self-image is all about the external change. And when you are so beautifully combining it to the people you are connected with, to the community you are connected with, and you are helping them transform them internally and externally as individuals. So that's great work. Keep doing that. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Lovely. And one last line on why people can do it with us, and why Ridhima says a lot of practice, practice, practice.
uh, to put it in a very simple language, I would
Absolutely.
say, practice. Ridhima says practice, and that is the reason I'm sitting here today.
Oh my goodness. Whoa.
Had you not been the one to tell us again again, practice, practice, because Ridhima, I firmly believe in this, that until unless I do not practice, see, it's a process.
Mhm,
NLP is not just something which somebody just thought of and presented it. It's very
mhm,
scientific, though it's magical, it's scientific, it's process, it's a system. It's
mhm,
very well laid out. However,
mhm.
because we're dealing with humans, we're talking about human beings, each one of us is different. So it's a very subjective thing, it's very experiential. So when I am tomorrow going to use it, either myself, but again then I am going to use it in a scenario where I'm going to be interacting with different kind of people. If I am a trainer, a coach, or maybe a doctor or a teacher, again I'm going to be using it with different kind of people. So until unless I do not experience all those different behaviors or whatever, all those, like, to give you a very simple example, we all know that hydrogen plus two molecules of oxygen give us water. Now you would want to have it with salt and salted shikanji. I'll add sugar, have sweet shikanji. Somebody will add have jaljeera, but then the output is the same. It is going to quench the thirst for all of us. So the difference would be, is our own personal style, our own personal experience, expectations. But the outcome for sure for everyone is that, like an arrow, you whatever has been holding you back, once the traction is built and you just release it, so you're gonna go bang and it's gonna be a bullseye.
Whoa, amazing. A lot of people who would hear this, people in corporates and people at individual level, would love hearing Sonali more and more, and definitely would like to get in touch with Sonali also for their personal transformation, like Bullseye, the way she just represented. So beautifully laid out by you, Sonali. So beautifully. It's all about each and every one, whether you want to have a mawa cake, whether you want to have a chocolate cake, whether you want to have a simple fruit cake, you are having that one specific sweet for satisfying your intention of either taste or hunger, whatever it is. And that is what.
Absolutely. And why Ridhma? I would say, uh, Ridhma, hey, tomorrow I'm opening up an airlines. Come board my flight, would you? No, you would say, of course I'm not boarding you. I'll take Air India or Lufthansa or whatever. Because we know their experience, their pilots are experienced. They have, flown hours and miles. They've been trained. They've honed their skills over a period of time. They've experienced those, hours of flight. And each hour that they have flown has been a learning for themselves. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I would say that's the only reason Ridhima, because she has transformed her life with NLP and new code NLP. And who better to learn from a person who has actually transformed her own life. So I
So
think you're
beautiful.
a guru in actual real sense. You are not, I would not say that you're a teacher who teaches. It's not like a course that we do with you. We become a part of you. Everything that you discover every day, you put it out in the group and tell us, okay, tomorrow if you have a situation like this, you do this. And there are small little tiny details that you write, you make those efforts. And that's a great learning for us, because in the morning when we open up that group, there is such a, I would say, a blast of positivity in that group, that every day, each one of us opens it and, expecting that, of course, we are going to read something wonderful and beautiful for this day.
Wow, so beautiful, put. Thank you so much for see such humble and kind words. Yes, I can say that the only thing which I have done is practice. Transformation happened in its own process. And I think and I really believe the standards of NLP with John Grinder, with Michael Carroll, with Carmen Bostic, with NLP Academy, as well as the standards which we all can also build together as a community, which we are building inside. The community has grown. You are a part of it, and so many coaches out there. Each one of them are so beautiful and learning. So I think to people who are listening to us, they can at least understand that we, like Sonali is saying, would like you to focus on the commitment of practice. Transformation is a secondary gain which would automatically happen. The process which you're talking about, the system, is a very important thing. Process, system, just do it, and make it happen. And as John Grinder always say, practice, practice, practice. That's so beautifully said. Thank you, Sonali. Wonderful. People, you can write to Sonali directly and connect with Sonali. She is a beautiful coach you heard right now. She is on the journey of facilitating so many women for transformation. People who are in corporates, definitely the way she is giving examples, you can connect with her for so many corporate workshops, and she can definitely create an ahas for so many men and women together for not only external transformation and internal transformation. That's what I would like to say to all of you. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much. You can keep sending us your questions on the messages also. I would like to tell all of you that Sonali is also a new Code NLP diploma, and we are having a new Code NLP practitioners coming up in Pune live for 5 days, and we are going to have Sonali soon in there also. We would love to have you. 27th of April to 1st of May in Pune, I will see you all live playing the games and practicing the processes and learning the system which can decode your high performance in your life. Till then, thank you so much, all the viewers. We will see you again in a Zoom meeting on 19th for having a next Q&A only on New Code NLP, wherein I will be answering all the questions and doubts for all the viewers. It is 19th of April in the evening, 6:30 to 8 o'clock for all the viewers who are watching. Thank you, Sonali, for a
Thank you so
wonderful
much.
time. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
your
much.
time.
I'm really honored and really grateful. Thank you.
Too. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Ciao, ciao. Bye bye. Take care. And remember what Sonali says, you do not change only externally, you also change internally. Thank you
Yeah.
and take care.